creeperginger2015 here, and I'm back with another video. Today I'll be doing a draw my life, I guess. I know these things are past due, but I feel that I feel I should tell a story in my life, because I think I should say what needs to be said. And I don't know what else to say about it, but to do it. And I guess I can do it just like this. So I guess I'll show you what my life is like. So when I was a child, I was always careless, and I didn't think much about life, and I just wanted to progress. I also didn't think of what I wanted to do in my life at first. Now, this story I'm about to tell you is a bit sad in some way, and I've never told anyone but one person, and there's a few parts of it that other people know, but there will be parts that you might find out about me, and I figured this should be shared, because I don't think I should bottle this in anymore. Here, I'll start with this little stick figure here. Oh, that'll do. That'll do work. I think it's a little too big, but I'll work with it. Here, what the hell? Let's go back on that. Yeah, this would be me. You know, as a kid, I didn't do much. I didn't do much. In fact, at one point in time, I just didn't care about life. I was actually a pretty dumb kid in those days. I was picked on. I wasn't happy at all. I wasn't happy. I was bullied because I was different, and in many different ways too. I just thought differently. I looked differently. I wasn't exactly the prettiest guy in the world either. In fact, I just was just kind of. I admit to myself, I would say I'm not good looking at all. I'm just looking. I can't even look at myself in the mirror and say, "Am I attractive?" Now, I was bullied for just being a ginger in general. It was tough in those times because no one liked the way you are. And I had a guy legitimately say to me, because I literally asked him why he didn't like me, because he said I was ginger. And that disturbed me. Like, why would you hate me because of that? Like, I didn't understand at that time. And it kind of upset me. And I was confused. He told me that I was different from him. And that was... I guess you can say that gingers were discriminated against at that time. And there still are kind of discriminated today. But I just chose to ignore that crap because people are dumb. And sorry guys, it's kind of a touchy thing for me. Because these points in my life, I was not, as I said, I was a happy child. In fact, I got into fights a lot. I just didn't like the way my life was. I hated it. I didn't want to. Excuse me. I guess when I was starting to become a preteen, I started to think about life more. I was starting to mature more, though I'm still dumb as hell. When I was at that point, I was trying to think about life. You know, what was work? You know, I tried to think about work. You know. And what would I do with my life? I tried to think, what would my job be? And I thought about, how would I make money in life? How would I progress? I didn't know. I was just lost. I had many ideas, you know. becoming an architect, or just maybe even a doctor. Because I wanted to help people. But that just didn't seem right to me. Plus, I really hate beetles. And maybe there were other things. So far as I can remember, I just couldn't think of anything. There were here and there, I've met people. I've had crushes here and there. Yes, I've had. I've had, as I said, I've had crushes, but no one ever liked me. I was ugly, and I was ginger. No one liked me. I was different, weird to them because of my personality. No one accepted that kind of personality like mine in that time. I was always mentally broken. I was always depressed, sad, no one would accept me, had little to no friends. Only a few other gingers or weird people would hang out with me. I tried to find people who would like me. I moved around a lot too, you see. And I moved from Arkansas, Texas. The worst place I lived in was Arkansas because no one accepted me there. I was just the weird guy. Everyone there hates gingers. I swear to God. And no one would accept me because I'm different, because I was weird. And I hated that. I was sad. I was getting depressed. And my mental state was not healthy at that time. I don't even know why it's hard to imagine why I was anymore. But it still breaks my heart, and I'm sorry, guys. It really kind of puts a toll on me. Anyway, as I said, I was trying to figure out what I was going to do in my life. And one day in high school, I was starting high school, and I do not know what came up with me, but I just decided, I was just looking through my classes I was choosing through, and I didn't understand any of this stuff. Like, what did I want to do? None of this stuff sounded interesting to me. And I looked at this one little spot, which was called JRTC. I didn't know what it was, and my sister was in high school before. Has been in high school, and I asked her about it. She explained it to me. It was a class for kids who might want to join the military. And I explained, wait, what do you mean? And she told me that my brother, Jerry, had taken it when he was in high school. And what it did was it just teaches you small little traits of the military might teach you, like formations and stuff. And it sounded interesting, and I thought about the military as my future career. And I just didn't understand. Maybe, was it military? Because in my youth, I just always didn't want to join the military. It just scared me. And it kind of still does, to be honest. But anyway, so I looked at it and I checked it off, and kind of went with it. And I was spending about 6 months in the class. I'm just sitting there, learning the stuff, formations, how to salute, chain of command, and all that. And I was trying to learn all that stuff, and then one day, my sergeant who was explaining what it was like in the military, he told me the things that the Army that does for their soldiers. That it helps them with money situations, Like it also pays for college and stuff, so I can get I can get an education. It pays for an education, and I thought, wait, I need an education. I need an education. There would be no other option for me but to get an education. You know? And I knew my dad couldn't afford college. And I had to think of a way that I can get to college myself. And I didn't want to have my dad pay for it because I knew he couldn't afford it. And here's this, guys. The reason why I was growing up so fast is because of the most sad point in my life, that I realized about who my mother really was. You see, for the longest time, I didn't think about my mother, who she really was. And, you see, my mother wasn't a mother at all. She didn't treat me right. She didn't treat my brother right. And this part might get to you in some ways, and some of you might not think of me as just a pussy here and there, but it's different for a young child who had a mother for the longest time, and you realize that your mother is a horrible person. My mother had beat me, I guess you would say. Oh, I wouldn't say beat, but she threw objects at me in intent to hurt me. She was losing control as the years progressed. And she was a drug addict. She also slept around my dad, and he even had them in the house. I can tell by that. I was around and I saw this. I didn't think much of it. I didn't think my mom would actually do that. She only did. And I would believe it to this day. My dad hated her having her around. I hated her having her around. And I got to a point where I was losing control myself, my own sanity. One time, she was getting so angry, riled up, and she was yelling at my brother. She was starting to swing her arms around, and eventually she was looking like she was about to hit him. I can see it in her eyes that she was about to do something to him. And I stepped in front of her and stopped her. She told me to move, and I refused. In retaliation, she pushed me into this table, and it hurt a lot. I got up, riled up with anger. I got up and called her a bitch and then walked out the room. As long as my brother was protected, I was fine. As long as I knew if I intervened, she wouldn't have harmed him anymore. But I walked out, and I started walking down the road. And I was limping the whole time. I'm sorry, guys. I was limping. And I'm sorry, there's not much draw on this thing. I walked down the road. And then I saw my dad. My dad is the best person in the world. My dad is the best person in the world. And I can say that this, and I'll say this with pure honesty, that my dad is the best person in the world. Because he took care of me in the worst of times. And he kept me this whole time. And he knew the woman that I was conceived from and still had me today. I'm sorry, guys. I have to stop this. Excuse me. I just had to pause for a moment. Anyway, as I said, my dad was the very terrible person. Sorry, I messed it up. My dad was the most wonderful person because he took care of me in the worst of times, and even when I wasn't very grateful. And I feel, and anyway, my dad came by, started driving down the road as I was walking down it. He noticed me walking and limping. He asked me what was wrong, and I explained the situation. My dad was riled up and angry. I didn't want my mom. I was telling him I didn't want her around anymore. The way she was treating me and my brother. This happened once before, a few times before, and then she was eventually gone. Today I haven't seen her since. I'm kind of glad I never see her. And eventually she continued the abuse even when she was gone. Because she called my brother, my little brother here and there. And she would call him, and my little brother, would have these events in the school. And he would ask her to come by when she said, "I'll see." Well, he was young, and little kids don't understand maybe or "I'll see" and stuff like that. So he didn't understand. So he thought, yes, she'll come. But guess what? She never did. He was heartbroken. He was really heartbroken every time. He was upset every time. It took a while to get him back. Now, it wasn't us who could do it, but I had to be honest. After a while, my dad met somebody else, and I'm proud of him for that. And he met a woman named Wendy Evans. This woman had changed our life a bit. She basically saw us and saw something and saw that this house needed fixing because we were messed. We had no clue what we were doing on our own. And she came in the house, cleaned up broken pieces. And when my brother was upset, she had to pick up the pieces of what my mom had left after her abuse, her false promises, as she described it. And it upset me that my mom still abused him mentally. I'm rambling on to my brother. But I think I should finish this. Eventually, my brother learned to move on, and we no longer contact her anymore because she freaking tortures her life. Every so often, she tries to call us to contact us. I ignore every call she tries to get to me. One time, she tried to call me on my birthday, and my stepmom, legitimately went up to me and asked me, "Hey, your mom is on this phone, and she would like to talk to you since it's your birthday." And she said this with a concerning voice and looked at me, waiting for an answer. I knew that she thought that there might be a chance I might actually want to talk to her mother. But I'm going to say this, and I'll say this now. I will never talk to my mom ever again, and even if hell was over and I became ruler of the hell. I do not care what situation any possible. I will never talk to her again. I'm not going to visit her funeral or anything. I want nothing to do with her. She's never a real mom to me. And let's move on to the next part. As I said, my life was depressing and sad. My stepmom, though she did change my life, I was still a bit ungrateful here and there, and I got mad at her. We got into many arguments. And, oh crap. We got into many arguments, and we always upset each other, here and there. And it was always so upsetting each and every time. We always end up in the same way. We always end up in the same way. And always ends up one of us crying. Most of the time it was me. And I just couldn't stand it. I was eventually at the point where I just wanted to just leave life itself. Eventually, sometime I just realized that there's a gaping hole in my chest. It's like there's something missing in my life. And I realized a deep thought that I'm missing something that fills that position and was companionship. Companionship, it was. And I realized that I was alone. How often I looked at myself do I ever date anyone? Do I ever flirt? Do I ever see girls anymore? Like, I just looked at girls here and there. After a while, you know, here and there, you know, I got crushes, as I said. But then after a while, I just stopped. I just kind of gave up. And then I realized why I gave up, because I knew I was persistent and no one liked me. And then I started to go to areas where people were free and open with their real selves, you know, and they accepted me, too. It's like if people just wanted a better life, and I found people who were like me, and made new friends. But then there's this one girl I met. She was different. Way different from any girl I've ever met. She reacted differently. You know, even the weird girls even react the same way as the normal girls, quote-unquote normal. She was different. I will never forget her. You see, because she changed my life as well. I was happier, and I've never met this girl before, and well, actually, I didn't like her before as soon as I met her. But what happened was I met her once. She was quiet. And as I started to see her personality, you know, I flirted around, you know, with her and her friends here and there. But then I actually got to her more often. You know, I started noticing her more. And I admit I've done some things that were not exactly appropriate. I could say they were a bit obscene. What would be the term for it, I guess? In situations, I would do this. Oh, crap. Sorry about that. Yeah. Things I did. Oh, fuck. I kind of did things where, were not appropriate. And, how should I put it? How the relationship started was mostly through sexual harassment. And I admit that's a bit downsized, and it sounds wrong to you guys, but that's exactly how it happened. And, you see, apparently, from her point of view, she told me that she liked me, after we started dating after a while. Now, here's the catch. Here's what happened, how we started dating. For 6 straight months, I started to, you know, persist on her, and she always rejected me. And I don't understand, like, and, you know, and what brought me down more was the fact that she was more attractive than anime characters at the time, and she especially had this anime crush on Sebastian from Black Butler. Like, I thought to myself, I'm competing with a fictional character, how the fuck? And after 6 months, you know, and then there's this Marine Corps birthday ball for JRTC. I was a Marine Corps JRTC, and, you know, they had a ball coming up, and I was like, wait a minute, this should be the perfect opportunity. I don't go out much, I don't know where everything is, so I thought, wait, this would be a perfect date. And we'd dance here and there, get her out more, you know, and I went up to her, and I was nervous as fuck. And I said to her, and I stuttered here and there, and then I took a deep breath. I said it, looked her in the eye, and asked you, will you go to the Marine Corps birthday ball with me? Exact words. And she said to me, I'll think about it. Now, I know what you guys are thinking. A girl that says, I'll think about it is going to be a no. Well, guess what, guys? This wasn't the case. She literally thinks about this. And it took her a whole 24 hours to do it. The next day, she gave me a yes. I was thrilled. I was jumping with joy. She knew I liked her. And she giggled at this. I jumped. I ran across the school screaming, She said yes. She said yes. And among my friends were saying, good job, Ginger. We're happy for you. Because they knew and they wanted us to be together too. And in reality, the next day, you know, it was a bit awkward between the two. And we were a bit, you know, hard to say. And I tried flirting, but it just felt awkward. And then her friends were looking at both of us and noticed the awkwardness. And they said to me, they said to us, oh, dang it, they said, are you two dating or what? And I said, I don't know. And neither did she. We were both confused about this. And we were like, I'm sorry if I paused. We were just baffled at this. Like, were we? And then her friend said, well, Creeper. Well, back then I was called Creeper then because that was a little nickname I gave myself. There's explanation of why I'm creeperginger2015, guys. Well, and she asked me, do you like Aurora? By the way, her name is Aurora Baker, guys. I said yes, I did, which was already obvious. And do you want to date Aurora? I said yes. Then she went to her and asked, Aurora, do you want to date a Creeper? She said yes. Actually, what she really said was, I don't care, but I know that sounds very weird, but she didn't really care about dating at that time. I'm not joking, this is what really fucking happened. Her friend literally took us, and basically what she just did is like, you two kiss. And I'm like, what the fuck? She just shipped real life. Like, she shipped two people in real life. Like, what the fuck? Which is not very unlikely, but it's not very unlikely since they do that to YouTubers all the time, but they did it for real, not like in a fan fiction. She did it for real. She literally shipped us. And that's what happened. And here we're dating ever since. Here and there, you know, I do a little surprise romance, you know, try to get her, you know, to be more close to me. And eventually she opened up to me more. And I got her out of the shell she was in, and she got me out of mine. She changed my life and made me much more happier. I had more motivation to move on every day. I didn't feel empty anymore. I was starting to live life better, happier. She was the same. She didn't have much of a better life either. But that would be a different story. Now, here goes on to the part in life where I decided to actually do stuff with my life. Remember how I said I didn't know what I was going to do? And I decided to join JRDC? Well, here's this. I know I got a sidetrack there. Now, but when I joined JRDC, I thought about all the benefits it gave me. College, money, and now how was I going to get it? Join the Army. And that's what I did. One Christmas before, on my senior year, I enlisted into the Army. I decided to sign up in the Army. I started filling out paperwork and everything. You know, get it done early, because this would benefit me in one way or another. As long as I was in high school, I couldn't go. So, I kept up with something called Future Soldier Training, so I can increase my physical fitness, and so that way I can get, fit. And what I did for, oh, crap, and I kept, sorry if I'm pausing here and there, I kept on moving forward. I increased my PT, I started to work out, and it also increased my knowledge of more military. Besides JRDC, I learned formations, we did running constantly, a lot of running, and I started to be a little better, but not good enough. Sorry. And eventually, it was time to be shipped to boot camp. There I was. Now I was a very quiet soldier. was scary as hell. And the first days were not exactly scary, to be honest, but because we were at reception and we were getting all our gear, getting uniforms, and PT gloves and all that. These were the clothes that we were going to wear for 10 weeks. And another additional 8 weeks at AIT. This is the clothes we'll be wearing every day for the rest of our freaking lives. We're going to replace them when we need new ones. And yeah, I know I'm wearing civilian clothes now, but that's because I'm out of AIT and I'm at my work, normal work, which I can wear civilian clothes at the end of the day. And now, this part of basic was the worst part of my life. I hated it every day. I hate everyone there to this day. And here I am. I'll tell you what happened. First true day of basic, when we actually arrived at my drill sergeants. It was the worst experience of my life because I didn't know what to do. They were, I don't know how to put it, but they were terrifying, I guess. They terrified me to a point I just couldn't take it anymore, and I was starting to get depressed again. I was alone. I was unable to contact my family for weeks. You know, call them on the phone, hear a voice. I sent letters every day. I didn't stop until the end of basic. I was waiting for it to end. I was crying at night. I was also crying during the day. I couldn't stop this pain I was having. Eventually, my drill sergeant noticed this, and she took me in. Well, one of my drill sergeants, a female drill sergeant that is, she took me in and sat down and talked to me, and asked what was wrong. And I was telling her I was feeling depression, loneliness. I was fear of failure-ness, because if I didn't succeed at basic, I wasn't going to make it. And I felt like I was scared because the drill sergeants kept mentioning fights and death and what they've seen. I was terrified. I feel I was going to... Oh, God. I'm sorry. I'm having a bit of a flashback, I guess. Because of all the terrible things I did at basic, it horrified me. I was terrified, scared. The grenades is one thing that terrified me. And everything was terrible for me at basic. I was terrified constantly. I didn't want to be there anymore. I'm sorry. I know that some of you say that basic wasn't hard, but for other people, it got to them mentally. I know today that basic isn't that great, isn't that disciplined, but guess what? I probably wouldn't have made it if the army hadn't gotten soft today. I guess I'm not much of a soldier, I guess. I guess that was a good thing I became a cook. I hardly ever see any action. At least that was something I was good at. Eventually I realized, before I joined, I decided I wanted to be a cook in general, not just in the army, but in a future life, you know. But not a cook at a McDonald's, but own my own restaurant, you know. I'm gonna suck. Anyway, basic training was the worst for me. Eventually I got to the whole. And then I went to AIT. AIT was easier because they didn't have the drill sergeants. They were out of the picture, basically. And I'm kind of glad that. So, now, this next part here was actually made me a little bit happier. I met another Brony when I was at AIT. I will not mention his name, but he also was, like, you know, a cool guy, you know. I got along with him. And me and him watched My Little Pony, you know, while we were, every Saturday, when we had our weekend time to ourselves. And you know, I just watched My Little Pony. And that's what we did. And PT was more fun then. I hated PT at basic, and then I started liking PT because everyone was motivated, happy every morning. And I couldn't believe how happy these people were to be awake that day, how happy they were alive. They were having the freedom that basic couldn't give them. Because in basic, they shut you out completely. They keep you away from everybody. They keep you away from civilian things to break you. Now, at AIT it was fun because we were cooking. You get to eat all the time. And brunch was the best because, Sunday brunch was the best because it was everything you could ever want in one sitting. Anyway, later on, and once AIT was done, I came here. The station I am now. Now, I know I haven't been drawing much, and I'm here at the station I am now, and here I am making videos for you guys. I didn't start making these until later on when I saw YouTubers, and I was inspired by them because they make me happy all the time. And then one of the things I really like doing, guys, is making people smile. And I know I sound like Pinkie Pie when I say this, but this is the honest truth. I really like to make people smile. And I saw these YouTubers, how they make me smile. And I wanted to do the same thing. I wanted to be like them in a way, because I wanted to be able to make people happy the way they do. I wanted to do it. And here I am today. I'm making videos for you guys. Even though there's not much of you watching my videos, I want you guys to watch them because it makes me happy. Every time I get a new subscriber, it makes me smile because that person right there is going to watch my future videos, and they're going to see this. They're going to see it, and they're going to laugh, cry, whatever. And I'm kind of glad that they're watching me today. Well, whoever's watching today, and I'm going to be happy for whoever's going to watch in the future. Because you guys are what made me, I guess, better. I don't know how to put it. Now, I guess you could say YouTube is just for me now, but I enjoy YouTube for a reason. Because I enjoy YouTube because I can't think of anything else to do, really. Other than, what my plans were, but YouTubing was fun. I just felt better. Made my pathetic life in the barracks much more easier. Well, yes, I have a girlfriend now, and I want to marry this girl, but it's going to be a while, and I'm always alone here, and all I can do is talk to her on the phone. I Skype her here and there, and I guess YouTube kind of made it more interesting here. More dedication, kept me alive. I guess you can say live, not isn't actually alive. I mean more, awake, more lively. It also helps me with public speaking. I'm terrible with it. And I guess here I am today making this video because you guys made me this way. I want you guys to know who I am. And I would like to thank you guys who have watched my videos in the past, and I'll thank those for the future. I think I love you guys, even though there's not much of you. I love you all. And I'll love you even if you aren't subscribed or if you watch my videos. I'll love you even if you subscribe in the future. I'll love you when you subscribe in the future. I'll love all of you if you still unsubscribe because you were once my fan at one point in time. So I thank you all creepers free.